Outcomememories, the spiritual successor to Sonic.exe The Disaster, is finally out. And it goob. Review over.
I woke up with a boner. I woke up with a heart.
I kid. But yeah, it's good. Now for the dum-dums watching who haven't played yet, this is how it plays. It's like Forsaken but fun. You play as multiple characters from the Sonic universe, with you not being allowed to choose a character someone else has already selected to play for that round. Thank fucking God, there's no stacking in this game. And you survive against the killer, who is Sonic.exe, or 2011X as he is known now. There will be more killers in the future, but he's the only one you can play as right now. Anyways, as a survivor, your job is to survive until the timer hits 1.5 minutes. Then a gateway appears in a map that you need to use to escape. As a killer, you need to kill people. Grass is green, and so on and so forth. This game is similar to Forsaken. I'm so sorry for comparing the two, but not everyone has played The Disaster. Anyways, with stunners and such. Now, at the end of each round, you get scored based on how well you performed. And a way to get a good grade, which will get you lots of money so you can buy cool cosmetics, is via stunning. So players are actively encouraged to play a little aggressively. This is in massive contradiction to Forsaken pawned by 2 PM, or should I just say 14? I don't really know. Should I just say 2 PM or at 14 o'clock or something? Anyways, it's in massive contradiction to Forsaken pawned by 2 PM. I mean, maybe Die of Death, I don't know. People seem more cooperative in that. And so on and so forth, Pillar Chase 2 as well. In those games, stunning doesn't give as much of a reward in all honesty. So, you know, the grade system, forcing you to stun in order to get more money, is good and fun. It punishes cowards who just run to a corner of the map and not do anything to help the team. And you need to work in a team, unlike a lot of other games where your team is just non-killer entities that sometimes help you by pure accident. The thing is, in OM, last man standing is almost impossible unless you're John Memories. Survivors do get a HP boost, but 2011X is designed to put constant pressure on survivors, making LMS actually pretty hard unless you're locked in or got lucky with the timer. And also, the OST, absolute peak, absolute cinema, one of the best Roblox game OSTs I've ever heard in forever. Now that boring stuff is out of the way, let's talk about the survivors, starting off with Sonic. This version of Sonic, from what I hear, is from the Sonic CD opening animation. It isn't the same classic Sonic you see in the game, or not the version of classic you see in later games like Mania or Superstars. He has access to 2 moves, Peel Out and Drop Dash. Drop Dash makes you curl up into a ball and jump into the sky. Sometimes it doesn't do the last part. Then you have a short period of being curled up into ball form, where you can hit and stun the EXE. You're able to hit him 3 times in a row before you can't, which will stun him more than if you hit him once or twice. Peel Out makes you stand still for a few seconds, charging up, and then you go flying. With you being able to pick up other characters except Eggman and Metal, fatties, and take them with you. Now Sonic has a dodge mechanic, which is just the second health bar that gets filled by stunning the EXE. Now, I'm going to make another tier list in this video because the YouTube guidebook said that tier list in video equal more view. So, yeah. Sonic goes into S tier. He has very high survivability with his dodge mechanic and can be really helpful for his teammates and get him out of sticky situations with the use of Peel Out. But yeah, that's Sonic. On to Tails. Tails has 2 abilities, his hand cannon and glide. His hand cannon needs to be recharged after each use, and when you use it, you need to wait for it to charge. Then you shoot your piss laser of death. His glide works like it does in the mainline games. Just spam the button, he goes up, up, and away, until he gets tired and has to come back down. Overall, Tails has pretty high survivability too. Glide can get you far away from the EXE, but only in open maps, like Not Perfect and Grey Hills. Other maps, not really. He can act like a sniper considering that his piss laser has practically infinite range, so he can help other characters from across the map. So, yeah, I'm placing him in B tier. Next is Knuckles. Now you choose Knuckles when you want to personally beat the shit out of the EXEs. His entire moveset is around throwing hands and being aggressive.
One more combo. That ain't Falco. That ain't Falco.
He has a punch which you can charge up, indicated by the fire, that the longer you charge it up for, the longer you'll stun the killer when you hit them. And he has a counter. It's a counter. I think you've played a video game before, and if you haven't, why are you here? He also has a secret passive ability. If you jump and jump again whilst touching a wall, you'll stick to it. And if you jump again, you'll glide for a few seconds before falling like a rock. This can help with juking a lot. Not super useful, I wish they extended the amount of time you could glide for to be significantly longer, but still a pretty good tool for juking the EXEs whilst your abilities take a second to cool down. Overall, A tier. He's probably one of the better support characters in the game, considering how he puts pressure on the EXE and isn't really as pressured by the EXEs. Like, he's not the one being chased, he's the one that's chasing. You get what I'm saying? The EXE has to be cautious around the Knuckles, which means anyone he's bodyguarding is most likely going to be pretty safe. Now, Amy. Amy has 3 abilities. Hammer, which just makes you swing your hammer and stun the EXE, and then Hammer Throw, which is the same but you throw it at him. Also, fun fact, your hammer bounces once before becoming useless on the floor. Meaning you can technically angle some pretty crazy shots. Never actually seen it happen in the game, just in theory. Next you have Reroll. Now you see at the bottom left of the screen, next to your HP bar, you can see 2 cards Amy has. Amy can reroll to get 2 random cards out of 6, with each card giving a different buff of sorts. Now I'll go over each of them. The World. All survivors and the EXE are highlighted through walls at a certain range, and Amy has decreased speed. The Fool. Increases Amy's speed by a little bit, however it makes Amy's abilities only stun for 2 seconds. It reduces stun time. Strength. Increases Amy's stun time, however in exchange for receiving more damage and reducing her speed. The Emperor. Gives Amy a tiny speed boost and a damage resistance. That's it, doesn't really have any downsides. The Sun, which passively heals Amy up to 75 HP and passively heals all other survivors in her presence up to 75 HP as well, except Metal. The Moon. It makes Amy blind and she'll gain a random speed increase / decrease and a random damage resistance increase / decrease. Overall, when playing Amy, you want to always reroll for Sun, because that's your most important card. You can heal whilst being chased, you don't need to stand still or anything of the sort. Meaning chases with you can last super long. However, I'd suggest always rerolling if you have the Moon, just because of how detrimental it can be. And I'd say the best combo is the Sun and the Emperor, just because the Emperor has no downsides, unlike the other cards. Now I'll put her in S tier. Again, she can make chases last super long if she has Sun, and can heal other characters, admittedly very slowly, with Sun. Hammer Throw means she can help teammates without getting herself in danger, and so on. So yeah, that's why she's in S tier. Now Cream. Cream is doo-doo-ah by herself. She's reliant on her team for help. She has 2 abilities and 1 passive. Dash, which is just a dash, and Healing Aura thingy, I forgot the name, which makes you stand still for a few seconds whilst you heal yourself a little bit, and any other survivors except Metal that stand close to you will be healed all the way up to full HP. Now her passive is that she can glide. Also it's longer than Knuckles for some reason. Now Cream is almost always targeted by the EXE just because she can undo a lot of the EXE's progress on survivors by fully healing them. And unless you're playing with John Outcome bodyguarding you, you're cooked. C tier. She is carried by the fact that she's the only proper healer in the game. Yes, Amy can heal also, but she isn't designed for that, and it's slow. Meanwhile, Cream's healing is significantly faster. Once better healers are added to the game, she is gonna get sent straight to F tier. Metal Sonic. He has 2 abilities, Destructive Charge and Repairs. Destructive Charge makes you charge the EXE, and if you hit them, you send them flying off into the sunset with you. However, it does a lot of damage to you. And repairs, which is just a self-heal. Now Metal is in kinda a weird place. He is heavily reliant on his team to cover for him when he's healing, but Metal actually has the most damage resistance against the EXCs and can take quite a beating before going down. And when he does go down, he explodes, which stuns the EXC as well. Overall, S tier. Do I need to explain myself? High damage resistance and destructive charge can be used as a getaway tool. So on and so forth. Eggman, the final character, is a survivalist, aka his job is to run away. Well, he can body block for a healing metal and such, but anyways, his abilities. Energy shield, which acts like a long-lasting counter, and jetpack boost, which makes you faster than the speed of light. He also has a double jump, which can be used for fun juking maneuvers. Overall, S tier. He is a massive pain to deal with considering how his moveset is designed for juking and running away and being a pussy. Onto the EXE 2011X. This version is from the original Sonic.exe creepypasta that was made in 2011, or I think it was the game that was made in 2011. That's why 2011 in name. Now there's not really anything particularly interesting about this dude lore-wise. He's just a demonic void entity that has a Sonic obsession and that's it. But other more interesting versions of him are coming to the game soonish. But anyways, onto his moveset. Invisibility, which drastically increases your speed, makes you invisible, and whenever you're close to survivors you can see them highlighted through walls, and choose to teleport them if you wish to. Charge, which makes you wind up for a second and be unable to attack, which is indicated by you flashing red for a little. Then you go flying, and if you make contact with a survivor, you'll choke them, and they have to play Friday Night at Freddy's to escape. God's Trickery, which turns you invis for a few seconds, and then teleports you to a random survivor, whilst 4 clones teleport to other survivors, and they need to either jump, move, or stop moving entirely based on the color of the clone or teleporting 2011X. If the survivor does get hit, they'll take damage if the real 2011X was teleporting to them, and their screen will get all messed up. If it was just a clone, the screen will also get messed up, but they won't take any damage. Finally, Rage Mode. Do you see this little bar on the side of the screen? That's your rage meter and it builds up whenever X gets stunned. Once Rage Mode is activated, the round timer is paused and a new timer is activated. The escape ring is unavailable and gets blocked off. And also X gets a bunch of buffs. A movement speed buff and a damage buff. You won't be able to use God's Trickery during Rage Mode, and Invis gets reworked into showing the general area survivors are through walls. Once Rage Mode ends, the map goes back to normal and everyone can skedaddle. I can't really put this guy on the tier list because there aren't any other EXEs to compare him to, so I'll just put him in B tier to be safe. He'll most likely be higher or lower next update though. Okay, so before the video ends, I'm going to yap about the lore. And no, for once it isn't just a list of fun facts, that there might be actual lore. So first off, it's pretty obvious, this is another demonic, this setting is like, you know, like the Dead by Daylight, Forsaken, Spectre, blah blah blah, demonic entity, makes survivors and killers play a game and such, but that's not what interests me. What interests me is the fact that all the survivors are the versions from in-game. You see, the thing with 2011X and a lot of the other EXE's lore is that they possess and take over the game files and put victims in the game as the characters. 2011X never kills the actual Tails, they're just torturing a random kid who he put in Tails and so on. Which is why the Sonic cast seems so weak in EXE stories. They're random kids that don't know how to use the full power of their vessels. Because let's be for real, Sonic.exe tried showing up in the actual Sonic universe, both modern and classic timelines, he'd get smoked. The only piece of evidence I have for the survivors being the original Sonic cast and not vessels, being the original Sonic cast from the actual Sonic universe and not random kids shoved in vessels, is because they're strangely competent and in character. It isn't much, but it's better than a list of stupid fun facts that don't mean anything. Eggman literally mocks the EXE mid-match and in his LMS theme. If that ain't enough to convince you it's the real Eggman, then I don't know what is. Also, a little headcanon. The reason why 2011X has Rage Mode in the first place is because he's so frustrated. He's facing actually competent characters who know how to use their abilities for the first time, which must really annoy him since he has a literal god complex. The guy who scribbles, "I am God" on your computer screen probably actually thinks he's God and probably has a massive ego. But anyways, yeah, that's the video. Hope you like it. Comment other games, both on and off Roblox, that you want me to review, and have a good one.